even look at a guy like, Stockton that nobody's talking about, right? This team's legit. I'll give one on the defense side of the ball too. The cornerback, Ben Hanks, right, was really young last year. So as you get older, you gain more experience. But I think he's also learning from guys, around him like Kermani McLean. So I think that'll be huge. And then I think the third one is going to be the kicker, Patrick Durkin. Why am I giving a kicker? Because special teams matters. Summerall didn't bring in that many players from Tulane. But the two players he did bring on were two specialists, the punter, Alec Clark, and then the kicker, Patrick Durkin. So you could tell Summerall said in his opening press conference, he doesn't care if you're his best friend. He's bringing in the best of the best to UF. And the only two guys he brought in were the two specialists. And special teams matters. And I try to go on podcasts and talk about special teams because nobody does. So, yeah, I hope that's a good answer.
I've even anointed in a haste John Summerall as Urban Meyer 2.0. Would you agree that he's going towards that?
Yeah, I mean, I think John Summerall is his own person. But then when he got hired at UF, he looks at the past, he looks at the history of this team, who's walked on the field, who sat in the same office, who has won a national championship here. And yeah, there's a ton of similarities, which gives Gator fans hope, right? But at the end of the day, what is different? And it's the roster, right? Who Urban Meyer worked with, who Steve Spurrier worked with is completely different than who John Summerall is working with. So, yes, I would agree that, the personalities and coaching styles are similar, but how he handles the roster is going to be different likely, and we won't exactly know how and in what way until the season starts in a few months.
We're going to shift a little bit for a little bit. Have you done your NCAA bracket?
No, I actually am waiting a little. I'm planning on doing it tonight. In my brackets, I see everybody has it filled in, so they're probably wondering, how come Isaac, is he going to forget? No, I'm not forgetting. I'm just waiting for the best available information. For example, I see that Louisville's, star player they just announced is out for tomorrow's game against USF. So I think that might mean I'm picking USF. So yeah, I'm just waiting for some updated info.
Should we be worried that that the guards are not going to play to expectations, because it took them a while to get used to Coach Golden and his system? And they haven't, in my opinion, they haven't played up to par. It's all been the front court.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I think that with this team, the guards don't even have to play that good for this team to win. And not just win against the best teams in the country. Yes. They just can't be bad. That's what Golden said, in the non-conference slate. The Gators are shooting very bad from three. And Golden said, just imagine if the team shot a little bit better. Not a lot, even a little bit better. So this front court is good enough where the back court doesn't even have to be that good. They just can't be bad. They can't hurt the team. And what happened against Vanderbilt? Well, the turnovers were a problem. So the team just has to hold on to the basketball. And another guard that is so vital, I think he's this team's X factor, is Urban Klabsar off the bench. His three-point shooting is incredible, and he just provides a spark when he comes in. So if Boogie Flan or Xavier Lee are inconsistent like they've been all season, no worries. This team's good enough to win games, but Urban Klabsar has to provide valuable minutes off the bench.
To me, he's the Walter Clayton or the X factor for this year's team to win the championship.